Hello, and welcome to another episode of My Brain Está Spicy, the podcast where two overthinking, sometimes anxiety-ridden friends spill on their highs and lows and the craziness of navigating mental health in our daily lives.
We are your hosts, Melisa and Christy. I'm Christy. She's Melisa. And as always, we are going to be talking about the beautiful chaos of life with spicy brains and inject this safe space with as much humor and our unique sazon as we can. So get yourself comfortable, grab your favorite drink or three, because it's sure to be a super fun time.
And just so we're clear, everybody, we are not medical professionals. The views and opinions that we are going to share on our show are for informational and entertainment purposes only. We are not doctors, lawyers, or financial advisors. If you need expert advice in any way, shape, or form, please seek out the proper qualified professionals.
Seriously, go to therapy.
And with that, here we go. Hello, all, and welcome back to another episode of My Brain Está Spicy. We have a fun twist of an episode coming up. Actually, it's going to be two parts. So we are finally getting around to doing our origin episode. But instead of doing it boring, instead of, we're just going to sit here and talk about life and how did we become the unicorns that we are today, I had the brilliant idea of doing it 21 questions style. That's right. I'm going to make you feel like we're on a game show.
I like
that.
I'm
just kidding.
That's fun.
But we are going to...
I'm okay. I love a game.
We are going to do it via... Okay. All right. So then we'll do it questions style. I'll give it a hosty vibe to the question.
Okay. You don't have to get crazy cringy with it.
So... Oh, well, see, you can't do that to me. You can't tell me you want it game show style, and then I'm going to lean into the character, and then you're going to tell me no.
Okay, do
fair.
Whatever feels right for you. Do what you want to do. I am just the subject. You're the host today.
All right, there you go. So see, when you do my episode, you can do it however you like. Shit, dress up in costume if you want. We are on video, so we can make it fun for people.
Okay.
So anyways, as we are obviously very chaotic as always, folks. So we're going to do Christy's getting to know her episode, essentially. So I've got a series of questions lined up. She has not heard them. Nope. She has not seen them.
I'm terrified.
I will give credit to our chat GPT for helping me put these questions together. I've made some changes to some of them, but I think they're fun. Trying to keep it a little bit of mix, a little bit of mystery, some fun.
I love it.
Some heaviness. We'll see what comes up. With that, let's jump in, shall we?
Yeah.
Alrighty. So welcome to Christy's origin story.
Yay.
I am your host, Melisa. And Christy, your first question of the day is Christy, right? Like tongue-tied already. What would you say you were like as a kid, and what vibes were already there for you that are now present for you as an adult?
Oh, okay. So as a kid, I was very outgoing and very friendly, especially from like birth to like 6 years old. I was the kid that would go up to like other kids in the park and be like, "Hi, I'm Christy. You want to play? Like, let's be friends." I was not shy. I was just really bubbly and personable. I was very talkative. I don't know when I started talking, but I'm sure it was very timely or early, because that's how my whole story has worked. I was, I was just very talkative, very expressive. I was around all adults. There weren't any other kids in my family when I was born and for the first few years. So I was expected to communicate with adults and kind of act like a little adult in a lot of ways. So I think I matured quickly because of that, or just kind of off the bat started having more of a adult-like or mature presence to myself. I don't know. I was they describe, my family describes me as a kid as like very joyful, very bright, and I don't know, happy. I was a very happy kid. I really was. So, and
I mean, I hope that means that you're happy now too. I think you are, but
I am.
you know.
No, I am. I have. So I think when, especially when I'm around certain parts of my family, I get really, I feel like that joy a lot, and it comes across now as I'm an adult as sort of like mischievous and like playful. So, yeah, it's definitely still there. It's just, you know, life happens and shit happens to you, and you know, environments change you, your experiences change you, but I think underneath it all, yeah, and my default is like positive, happy. And I do, like, I'm not afraid to, like, while I do identify as an introvert because I do lose energy when I'm in social situations and easily feel overwhelmed, etc. But I do love talking to people, especially one-on-one. I love bantering with people. I love getting to know people and having really deep conversations. I despise small talk. I despise like having to kind of talk to a big group of strangers that I don't know. Like that's so a networking type of
Yeah,
thing
you like connection.
I do. I enjoy connection a lot. I find humans fascinating, and yeah, I think that that stems from the beginning of my life. So that's how I would describe. That's how I would answer that question. I think. Did I do a good job?
See that? I can see that. I mean, you answered how you felt the need to answer. So this is not a right or wrong, yes or no, true or false kind of situation.
I don't like that. I like getting graded, cool. And I like getting an A. Okay.
You're always gonna get an A+ from me, girl. Aww. I am your co-host. Aww. I mean, come on.
Oh, feeding into my perfectionist tendencies. Yeah. Great. Thank you. Yay. That's not a problem at all.
All right.
Enabling my shit.
Question 2.
Yeah.
If your mental health journey was a movie title,
oh fuck,
what would it be? And who would play you as your lead actress?
It would have to be Anne Hathaway, for sure.
Stop it.
Yeah, it would have to, because...
Stop it. That's who I always want to pick for myself. Get out of my head.
Yeah, I don't know why. I think I used to look a lot more like her when I was younger and less fluffy. But I still think we look alike. My aunt looks a lot like her. Like it's very weird. Anyway, I like her. Even though I know there's sort of this weird hatred about her, or there has been in the past from like a public perspective, people find her cringe or find her annoying. I think she has this quirky honesty about her, and I identify with that very closely. So 100% it would be Anne Hathaway. And like all of my friends are like that's your person. Like your celebrity doppelganger or whatever. There was a time, I remember there was back in the MySpace days, there was some kind of trend or something.
Oh God, you're aging us now.
I don't care. You know what? We have been through it.
I'm kidding.
Millennials have been through it.
I'm kidding.
I'm
kidding. You know that I am a huge proponent. Yes.
We walked so
but you
TikTok
know I'm a huge
could run,
proponent
bitch.
of.
We are HTML coding.
You know I am a proponent of, like, I am okay with age. Like, I do not have that problem. I do not have that air about me. Like,
it's
whatever age I'm at, like, I'm at that age. It is. Exactly.
It's a privilege.
Exactly. So I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I just wanted to make sure that, that is known.
Yes. No, you're good. You're good. As for the name of the name of the movie of my mental health journey, does it have to be the name of a movie that exists? I guess that would help or make it funnier.
No. What movie title would you give yourself? Like, if you could pick a movie title, what would you give it?
God. Shit. I don't know. I feel like I need to think about this longer.
Okay. All right. We'll come back to it. We'll come back to it. Let's see how the rest of the questions kind of guide your brain, and then we'll come back to it.
I need to think about it.
I wasn't planning on asking this question, but based on something that you said in your first answer, I kind of wanted to touch on this. So when you were talking about how now as an adult, like, there's a certain like mischievousness and humor that comes out of you when you're around certain people, which obviously relates to the concept of being around safe spaces and safe individuals, right? Because certain energies just make you feel great.
Yes.
So what's a core memory for you that shaped how you saw safety or lack thereof?
I feel like it's so easy to point to the negative ones than it is the positive ones. So I'm going to try to do more positive ones because I don't know. I have a lot of core memories around. Does it have to be childhood or like
whatever? I would say, let's say that shaped you. So if it's how it shaped you, it doesn't necessarily have to be young childhood. It could be high school, or it could even be college. It's just, what's a core memory that shaped how you saw safety or lack thereof before let's add the layer of before you found yourself starting to realize that mental health needed to become something that was important for you. Let's look at it that way. How does that help?
I think so. So I feel like all of my safe space core memories, especially when I was younger, revolve around being around my aunt and uncle, specifically because like they're huge, like they're big in my support system, and they really helped me when I was already in the throes of like mental health. But even before then, they set. Okay, I'll give you an example. There was this summer. Every summer we would go to Siesta Key, which is on the west coast of Florida. It's like a beautiful beach. It's very well known within like Florida beach, whatever, like best beaches of Florida. That's going to be up there. It's very like family friendly. It's beautiful. Like the sand doesn't get hot because it's man-made or whatever the fuck. It's wonderful. So we used to go there with different kind of parts of my family and my cousins and stuff every summer for many years in a row. And there was one year where this aunt and uncle came, because they didn't always go, but they came that specific year. I think I was maybe in like 5th grade-ish. Like, so, I don't know. How old are you? Like 10, 11? And they brought up the idea of going parasailing. And now I love roller coasters. I love like thrilling stuff. I'm not like the thrill seeker, but I'm pretty good with thrilling adventure things. But when I was younger, I wasn't. It took me a while to like even go on like Thunder Mountain and Splash Mountain and figure out how to deal with the adrenaline of being on a thrill ride. So parasailing in and of itself is very like chill. But I guess as a kid, I had this idea of like this I might die. Like, I don't know what I thought, but I was very afraid. I it's one of the first times I remember really being stressed the fuck out in preparation of an event. Oh my god. Sorry, it just thundered and it scared me. Anyway, so I the fun doesn't end. So
No, never does.
I was like I just remember because they were like, okay, we're gonna go on whatever it was, Thursday morning to go parasailing. So from like days before, I remember myself like, oh my god, like I was keeping it all in. On the outside, I was like, yeah, that sounds really fun. And on the inside, I was just like fucking panicking for like days before. So then that morning comes, and my mom's like, okay, do you want me to make pancakes before you leave? Do you want like whatever? And I was like, Mom, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. She's like, well, I don't know. Call your aunt and uncle if you don't want to go, like, before they, like, get ready and stuff. And I was like, okay. And that speaks a lot to how my relationship with my parents, but this isn't about my parents. So I, like, call my aunt, or I don't know if I called her or talked. I don't know. Because we were staying in the same condominium, but maybe not in the same room, whatever, doesn't matter. So I was like, I don't think I want to go, like, I don't know, I'm really scared. And I was expecting her to like force me, or like I know it seems really silly, but I have a memory. Yeah, like I have a memory of her going, that's totally fine, you're allowed to choose like yes or no. It's not
Oh, I love your aunt already.
She's a psychologist, so duh. But B, she's
I know,
an
this
amazing.
Is the one that you've talked about.
She's
before.
An amazing person. Like she really is just a wonderful human, and we have a very special like relationship, and we have since I was young. So yeah, she was like, it's not a problem at all. Don't worry. I was like, I don't want to let you down. Like I was crying. I was like, I don't want to let you guys down. I feel really bad. And she was like, you don't have to feel bad. It's totally okay. You know, like this is 100% up to you. Like whether we're going parasailing or just sitting on a beach, all we want to do is be with you and with your brother. So it's okay. Like it's not a big deal. So yeah, that's my core memory of one of my core memories of feeling safe in saying no to something and choosing something.
Yeah.
Because I did grow up in it wasn't on purpose. I don't think it's the way I was socialized and brought up as a girl, that you are supposed to go with it, be pleasant, be, don't upset people, don't. Like saying no was not really.
Don't rock the boat. Yeah.
It wasn't really in my comfortable wheelhouse. So it was one of the first times I made a choice that I didn't, that I had to make assertively, and I was really happy. And it's funny because I think maybe 10 or 15 years later, I did end up going parasailing with my aunt, and it was lovely, and we had a great time. So it's full circle.
I love that. I like that memory. No, I love that memory. I think that is so, I think also integral and key to you, because it's a memory that obviously has influenced how that relationship has continued to grow. And it's also something that, whether you realize it or not, whenever you're in a moment where you feel like you need safety, right? That's probably one of those moments that comes to you and gives you that sense of security. I can totally relate to it. So that is very, very cute.
Thank you.
Very sweet.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay. So moving forward a little bit, kind of coming into thinking about our mental health, right? What is a coping mechanism that you now realize, thinking back to when we were younger, but looking at it from the lens of what you've learned about yourself mental health wise? What is a coping mechanism you now realize was either pure genius for you or feral chaos?
Interesting. Okay. So I have one specifically. I have not shared this with a lot of people, and I'm about to share it with the internet, which is great, but whatever. I don't care. I don't know when I started.
Thank you for trusting us.
I don't, but you know what? Whatever. Fuck it. What are you gonna do? Throw it against me? No. It's just one of those, like, I think everyone has at least one secret little weird thing about themselves. Like, really weird.
Okay.
That you're like, or you feel like it's really weird, but it makes sense. But, well, whatever. Okay. So, I don't know when I started this habit. But it definitely probably started 3rd or 4th grade through. I stopped when we moved into this house, which was our senior year of high school. So you knew me when I was still doing this.
I did.
But so music is a huge part of my life. We've talked about how Melisa and I were in choir together. I was a dancer. I'm a singer. I still try to sing because it's good for my nervous system, but I miss it a lot. Music is just an integral part of my life. It's something that connects me and my dad. It's something that it's just been a huge part of my life, and it's very important to me. So around the time that headphones became a thing, well, I think they were already a thing when we were born, like cassette tapes with headphones, but whatever. I would sit in Florida, in most houses, there's 2 types of, like, general common spaces. There's the space where you actually watch TV, and then there's another room where you do not sit. You don't sit in that room. It's the
unused living room.
It's an unused living room. It's for show, for furniture to sit there. I would sit.
Maybe it's used occasionally on like Christmas. That's the only time that we use that room in my parents' house.
Usually it's where the Christmas tree goes, or where, like, whatever. So that room. So
my God, you were taking me so far back. I'm literally closing my eyes right now, and I'm picturing that room in my childhood house that I grew up in. And I'm like, yep, the Christmas tree used to go here. And it was like very specific carpet and furniture colors. And then I remember the year that my parents had us paint it, and then they got all new furniture, and we still didn't sit there unless it was Christmas.
Yeah. And that is, I don't know if that's a Florida Latin thing. I don't know if it's a universal thing. I don't know. Maybe it's a house design thing. Not sure. Anyway, I would sit on the couch in this nobody touches it room, and because it wasn't that we weren't allowed to go in there. There just wasn't anything to do there, so you wouldn't go there. I would go sit on the couch. It started with cassette tapes and, like, a cassette player and a headphone. I would sit and I would rock back and forth to the beat of the music and imagine, almost like dream scenarios to this music that I was listening to. And it would range from, like, Gypsy Kings to, like, as I grew up, like, all kinds of, like Phil Collins, The Police. Like, this is all music that my dad introduced me to. But then as I started like getting my own taste in music, obviously, like, I'm a Barbie girl, like, and like Spice Girls and Britney Spears and all of, like, the rock of, like, art. I'm telling you, like, and, like, there were certain family members that I was comfortable doing this around, and then there were certain family members that I wasn't. So, like, my immediate family was fine, although, like, when they would, like, pass, because this room, I can't believe I'm saying all this shit, but this room was, like, I'm a crazy person. It's fine. But okay. Because like this room was in front of the front door. So it was like kind of in the main, like in
space.
in the
Yeah,
house
it's like
that I
one of
was
the
living
first
in.
things you see when you walk into the
Yeah,
house.
yeah. So there was a hallway, like a main vein hallway of the, so, you know, like my parents, my brother would like walk back and forth. So they would see me and I was like, I mean, whatever, like they live here. So what am I going to do? So with them, I was like comfortable and they knew that I did it. And my mom was always like, isn't that kind of weird that she does that? And then I found out not too long ago, but I feel so gaslit because my grandmother, whenever she would come, my grandmother and grandfather on my mom's side, I was comfortable for whatever reason. I mean, they were safe people and they're still, like, my grandmother's still a safe person for me. So I was fine with them. Like, I would kind of like slow down or like stop doing it when they pass by and then do it. I don't know. This is very embarrassing to share. Like, I remember.
It's fascinating how you figured out this was like a good self-regulation tactic. So whether you feel weird about it or not, like I'm actually fascinated by it. It's very cool.
It was so powerful. Like I would sometimes fall asleep doing that. Like I would just find myself like starting to like fall
Pass
asleep.
out. Yeah.
But it would be a way for me to process everything happening around me. And sort of just like, it was more a way to be creative almost, because I was dreaming up all of these like scenarios and like, I don't know, like that were based in real life and that were completely not based in real life. And, you know, kind of when you like pretend that you're having a conversation with someone that you need to like you have a conflict with and that you're kind of like back and forth and trying to, it's like that, but like in 5K or whatever, 4K, whatever the fuck. It's like
4K visual representation.
Because you also have like music
I get what you're trying to say.
Also, so it's like the vibe of that music. So I remember my mother being like, I don't know why she does that, like offhandedly, and my grandmother being like, she's not hurting anybody, like she's fine, like you know where she is and she's not doing anything bad, so I don't know what you're talking about. And then I found out maybe within the last 10 years that my mom used to sit in front of the television as a kid and rock back and forth.
So there you go.
And I'm like,
so you just that was your way of kind of almost channeling what she used to do.
Yeah. And like now, as I've having to stop, I convinced myself that I had to stop because I started having serious boyfriends. They would come over, and whenever I wasn't going to do it in front of anyone that I wasn't like comfortable with or like
comfortable with,
whatever. Yeah. And I was like, I have to grow up. I have to grow up. I can't do this anymore. I remember being a senior in high school and saying that to myself.
I fucking hate that society makes us feel that way.
I have to grow up. And so I did. I stopped. And to this day, I don't know of a more, I mean, I'm sure I've found other ways. I know that I've found other ways to self-regulate, but that was such a, I spent so much time doing that. And it was it felt like such a true way to like process my emotions, process my like just everything that was happening around me, whatever. So yeah, that was, and to me, I think it was a healthy coping mechanism. I
think so.
Yeah, like I don't know. I remember having like the conversation with myself of like, that's it, it's done. And I have tried to go back and do it, and it's just not. I'm like, no, I'm kind of cringing at myself doing it. So I'm like, But if you,
yeah, but I wonder if it's because of that conversation that you had with yourself, making you feel like it's
sure
wrong, and it's like you had to outgrow it. So I wonder if there's a fun exercise and experiment in that to
maybe
try to tap back into that and
Maybe.
push through that awkwardness. Like
Yeah.
try it a couple of times and really just give yourself the space to do it. And you may have to wait. Like this is because you are currently living in an environment that you don't feel 100%
Yeah.
like you can be yourself.
Yeah.
I can see how right now it's not the best time for you to try
Yeah.
it, but I can see how when you're in your house, hopefully very soon. Remember, I said by October you would be in the house. So there's still time
God,
for
I
you to
hope
be
so.
there. So I'm still holding on to that manifestation for you.
Okay.
So that being said, I feel like you're going to be able to tap into things that you haven't been able to do for a very long time or that don't feel comfortable to you.
Yeah.
Because you'll finally be in a space that is comfortable to you. It will be your space. It'll be your energy, just you and Rob. And I'm interested to kind of see in a couple of months once you're in your house.
Yeah.
Like
I am too.
if you find your way back to that somehow.
So
All right.
one, sorry, before you move on to the next question. I know I'm taking forever
go for it,
answering
go
these
for it.
questions. Sorry. I think that
No, that's the reason why I did it this way. And I'm not like trying to do it rapid fire. Like I wanted this to still be an opportunity to kind of expand because in expansion, we get to know like you a little bit better. You get to kind of see how your brain works a little bit better. So this is exactly what I was hoping it was going to turn out to be. So go for it.
Okay. So I think now the way that I've figured out I can manifest it is through walking, like on a tread, not outside, because I mean it can be outside, but because of I don't know, just nature, weather, like I can't sort of zone in on myself and block out everything. Walking on a treadmill and listening to music and just kind of like literally being a total fucking weirdo and just like mouthing the lyrics, acting like I'm singing that song, does similar
and like
things.
dancing while you're on the treadmill.
Dancing
you're
while
doing
I'm
the
on the
TikTok
treadmill.
trend. I love it.
That's what it works. It works. So in that way, I'm waiting again to get into our house, but I'm gonna get a walking pad because I'm sorry, I can't with the heat. Like I fucking can't. I'm exhausted with this fucking Miami heat. When it's winter again for like 5 minutes, I'll be outside. But even then, I can't. I don't feel safe to like express. It's kind of funny because during COVID, when everyone was wearing masks, I would wear like my headphones and go take Penny for a walk. My Penny is my pup who passed 2.5 years ago, which is crazy. But I would take her for a walk and have a mask on, and I would like be mouthing lyrics to the music that I was listening to because I could, because nobody could see me. So it's so there is method to the madness, and I know that I think that the walking pad thing will work. I just have to get there. So that's my weird coping mechanism. It's one of the most embarrassing things.
I like it.
Or I used to, now I've kind of talked about it more with different people, and it's destigmatized it, because I used to think I am such a fucking weirdo for doing this thing. Like none of my friends know I do it. Nobody and I don't think anybody else does it. So I guess I'm just fucking weird.
But that's not a you thing. So I'll say this, that's not a you thing. That is absolutely 100% societal programming that forces us to basically ingest this idea that anything that is unique to us that doesn't fit the norm of how to deal things or how to do things or how to move through life is inherently weird and needs to be stopped. So in that sense, I'm going to tell you right now, like, stop that thinking. But at the same time, because of that, that allows me to now understand why you stopped it. And a part of me does feel bad that like you did that.
Aww.
So again, I'm excited to kind of see if maybe
you don't
in a
have
couple
to feel
of months,
bad. It's okay.
You find your way back to that. But also the fact that in a way it has manifested itself in a different way. It still shows that you find ways to kind of tap into that mechanism
Yes.
and feel better about yourself, which is
Correct.
nice.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Next question.
Yes.
Now moving into thinking about when you really started to lean into taking care of your mental health. And I know your journey is a little bit longer than mine is because you've technically been seeing therapists and been with medication for a very long time, but for different reasons. So for this question, I kind of want you to put on the lens, not from where you first started, because when you're in therapy as a kid, it's a very different lens. So I want to tap into when you really started to take care of yourself again in grad school. What was your first, or what was the moment that was like, oh, this is a lot deeper than just stress kind of deal, and I really need to sit down with myself and start taking care of myself again?
It's really hard to pin it down, only because when I first started, so I as a kid, I didn't go to therapy as a kid. Because I was pretty normal, quote unquote. Even though I wasn't, but I didn't, I was in generally very safe, comfortable spaces. You know, there weren't, I mean, sure, my parents' relationship was its own thing, and everybody has dynamics within their life that aren't 100% healthy, and they, you know, whatever, but nothing was like radar, like on the radar of an issue. And I was a happy kid. I was a happy high schooler. I didn't really, I mean, sure, I don't know. Like I was pretty like level, because thankfully, nothing was happening in my life that was causing my brain to have to really process like heavy shit that I wasn't able to regulate. So I was okay mostly throughout my childhood into even and through college, because I stayed home for college and I had a boyfriend at the time who was very much like my parents. So same energy. But then when I moved to New York, or I was rather not even, when I applied to get into Columbia for grad school, everything changed. Like my brain went fucking nuts. And like now looking back, I know what it was, but it's hard for me to pinpoint when I was like, okay, I have to start taking care of myself, because I thought something was happening to me. Like I didn't realize that it was internally me causing, like not me causing, but the amount of stress and anxiety I was feeling was manifesting itself, like not externally, but in these psychosomatic symptoms, which felt very real.
Gotcha.
So for me, the panic was, and it always has been really throughout for the rest of my life, like it's very health anxiety related. So focusing and obsessing on, it started, and really this goes back to childhood, but my emotions, my stomach goes like in a second. It's very like mind gut connection is very strong for me. So I immediately, that was the first symptom that I felt. So it's more that my body was showing me like, hey, you're like, the anxiety was manifesting that way, but for a good year and a half of like really suffering every day with feeling like I couldn't breathe. I was convinced that my lungs were, something was wrong with them. Feeling like my heart was gonna burst out of my chest, convinced that I needed to go to a cardiologist, convinced that something was wrong with my stomach. Like I didn't do the math of connecting the dots of your stress and your anxiety is causing you to feel all these things.
All of these
I
physical
thought
symptoms.
there was something for sure fucking wrong. That's it. This is it. I'm dying. Like, because I also, my mother is very vigilant about her own health, and she has her own health anxieties. She's very much one who think the worst in when things are going on, when she feels something. So her go-to is, okay, I gotta go to the doctor to check it out. So I went to a cardiologist. I went to a gastroenterologist. Like I went to all the doctors. And of course, all the testing was like, you're fine. Here's like a pill, I guess, if you want to take one. You know, like it wasn't, it which is frustrating. Like, I think that a lot of people who are dealing with anxiety for the first time end up in that road of like, you're feeling it physically. You don't even know it's your brain. You think physically something is fucking wrong and you need to go to a doctor, because that's how Western medicine works. We are not raised to think about how is what essentially is your nervous system, your vagus nerve, right? How is what's going on in my brain sending signals to my body to make me feel all these different fucking things? You don't think that it feels like someone is sitting on my chest and I'm just sitting in the subway hyperventilating. Like that's at that point, I'm like, when you don't know what's happening and you don't have the tools to talk yourself down, to like sort of give yourself evidence for, no, you're not suffocating. You are hyperventilating. You're feeling this because you're stressed out and anxious. There's things you can do. You can do box breathing. You can do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 stuff. You can, like, if you don't have all those tools yet, it feels like an emergency situation all the time. So I think my gut reaction when I started feeling things, which for me was nausea. Like I wasn't able to eat, and I dropped weight that I didn't even need to drop. Like I was already thin and graduating college, and I worked out and I was fine. I was healthy, but my stomach, like my appetite just went, and I have a fear of throwing up, which is like a whole other thing. But feeling nauseous all the time, I was like, I'm not going to eat anything if I'm nauseous. Like, I don't want to throw up. That's the last thing I want. So I'm like, but then I also felt lightheaded because I wasn't eating enough. It was like a whole fucking thing. So it turned into, and that was just one of the symptoms. Like, then I started having panic attacks while I was driving. Like, think I'm dying. Like, something must be wrong. I'm having a heart attack. This is it. And I'm like 22 years old saying this to myself. Like, it's so it's sort of like I couldn't help myself or decide that I wanted to help myself until I realized what was actually happening. Because I wanted to help myself. I was like, okay, I'm going to go to the doctor and get this figured out and do whatever I have to do. But that wasn't the solution. The solution was unfortunately harder and deeper. I do remember after about a year in New York of feeling all these things all the time, every day, I only got a break when I was sleeping. Like I loved sleeping because that's when my brain was turned off. And it was hard to go to sleep. But once I was asleep, I was like, okay, I don't have to. And then when I would wake up, it's like all the worry of like what I'm feeling and what am I going to feel today came back. And it's funny because
would literally like
like a wave comes back to you and you're like, fuck, like it sucked. But I remember maybe about a year and a half in when I had started seeing a therapist at the suggestion of my aunt, because she was like, I think you need to see someone. I have someone that's really good that you can see, who was amazing. The person I saw in New York changed my life. Like, I still think of her and I'm like, you saved my life. She made it bearable. And it was with her that I started taking medication. And initially I was against the idea of medication because you hear so many horror stories about, I don't feel like myself. I feel like I'm not present. I feel like I'm not, if that's what's going on, you're on.
Like you're numb.
Yeah, like you're numb to life. And at that point, when I initially was recommended to start medication, I got the prescription filled and everything, and I ended up throwing it down the toilet because I was like, no, I can do this. I'm strong enough. I can do this.
Yeah.
Which is its own toxic shit.
God, oh my God. Everything that you're saying there, like, that totally resonates. I know exactly what you mean. It's like, or you'll have the prescription. For me, it just sat on the counter for 6 months before I actually used it.
Like, and that's okay. Like, it's okay to be scared. But you also have to think of your brain like an organ, like any other organ. Like, you get a stomach ache and you take Pepto or you take Tums. You get a cold and you take Advil, you take Tylenol, you take whatever the fuck you have to take to make yourself feel a little bit better, because your body, while it can do it on its own in most cases to fight against whatever it is, it needs help. That's what science and medication are ideally for, to help you, to help your body do what it can do, but better. And especially when you're dealing with the brain, you're dealing with like chemical imbalances and shit that like you're not gonna be able to like out exercise that or out like nutrition that, despite what fucking wellness culture will tell you on a fucking Instagram. But so for me, it took months, but eventually I remember being in a taxi, because there were no Ubers back then. I remember being in a taxi thinking about the medication thing, thinking about how I had thrown it down the toilet and it had been months and I still felt all these things. I still felt like my world was falling apart constantly. And I was like, I can't do it myself. I need help. Like, my body needs help. My brain needs help. Like, I've tried, and it's not that I'm not strong enough. It's just that there's things going on that I can't handle on my own. And I'm sure everyone's journey is different. And this isn't me saying like, get over your shit, take medication. But it's not me saying that at all. Please don't interpret it that way. Medication isn't for everyone. But for me, I felt like a live wire. Like, that's how it felt. Like, and like an exposed nerve ending that was just every little thing I could feel in my body. And like, I needed to calm, like, something to calm the fuck down. Like, I needed to just, and not numb myself, but just be able to like function normally again. So I think that conversation with myself, saying, okay, I think I really do need help. And I think I really do need to like start something. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And if I hate it and I don't feel like myself, I'll get off of it. Like, it's not one or the other. It's not black or white, you know?
Exactly.
And people can make it seem like that. It's not for everyone, and that's okay. But it was for me. So I think that was when
I love your answer. I love the way that you ended your answer, because now it kind of helps me move us into my next two questions that I had for you.
Okay.
Like, literally, like, you created the perfect segue. So with that in mind, and then thinking about kind of how your journey moved through. By the way, for those of you that are listening to the podcast and not watching this on YouTube, I have like I did homework.
They did. She printed shit, y'all.
I legitimately have like printed out notes
and highlighted. So. Like, damn.
I did. I'm a good student. Anyways, okay. So, was there a moment as you were already in treatment, you started your meds, where you finally started to feel like, this is the beginning of me coming home and like coming into myself, right? And as a result of that, what would you say is one of your biggest mental health flexes right now?
Oh man.
And you don't have to answer it in any particular order. You can do the second one first if that's easier. You can do the first part first, whichever works.
So I would. So the easier one is like my mental health flex, if it's even a flex. I think is my ability to talk about it. Even though I don't even think that's really a flex, because it's really
Yes.
it's really natural for me. Like it feels like I was made to talk about this. Like, because for me it's like second nature. Like I don't stigmatize it in my brain because I experienced the toxicity of stigmatizing, treating mental health, recognizing your own mental health struggles and whatever. Like I suffered myself from the stigmatization of it. So once I realized what was happening, once I realized like, oh, there isn't something wrong, it's that I haven't been shown from birth how to treat. I know from birth how to treat a scrape. I know how to treat a stomach ache. I know how to treat, whatever, like something physical like that. But you're not trained or shown in American society how to treat your brain when there's too much. There's too much happening, or there's just so much you're not processing that is living in your body and unprocessed, and that shit is toxic. So for me, I'll say being able to talk about it is my flex, but also being able to, because my condition, like having OCD, means that it sort of like is magical and transforms itself into different things as I grow. So like I conquer one type of intrusive thought and then it gives me another one, and then it'll bring an old one over, and it's like, let's throw this into the and so go.
It's like making a stew.
It's really fucked up. Like while I recognize, I think my flex is that I've gotten to know my brain really well, and how I think. I still have like blind spots and shit with how I think, and sometimes.
Well, yeah, you're a work in progress.
100%. Like I don't see all the blind spots. I still have episodes where I'm like, why the fuck am I feeling like this? And it'll usually take like Rob, my husband, being like, you do know that you're dealing with this and this and this and this, and that's a lot, and it's heavy and it's weighing on you. And I'm like, huh, yeah, that's true. Or like you just don't realize that your self-talk is so toxic or negative, like the just whatever. So I think my flex is being able to talk about it, and also being able to adapt my tool set or my toolbox to how I'm feeling now as I'm aging, and I get some fun new fucking symptoms with my hormones fucking doing whatever the fuck they're doing. I feel like the idea of a toolbox and all the work that I've done through the years with CBT has helped me. It doesn't make it easier necessarily, but it doesn't scare me as much, I think, which is helpful because the for me the fear and the feeling scared is the worst part of mental health struggles. Like feeling like helpless, like you're not in control, which ultimately none of us are in control, and that's like the big lesson. But anyway, that's what was the other question? I forgot.
The other half of the question was, what was the moment where you started to feel
right.
This is the beginning of me coming home and me coming into myself and my safe space, and I guess you could say coming into your true identity?
I'll let you know when I get there.
Okay, that's a fair question.
It's an evolution.
That's a fair question.
An evolution.
Or not a fair question. That's a fair answer.
It's an evolution.
Okay, so then when would you say you started to feel comfortable with understanding that this is an evolution?
Pretty early on after I started treatment and was able to kind of get my 2 feet on the ground, and I graduated grad school and I moved back here. I think around that time, because once I connected the dots of this isn't something inside me that's like a danger. Like, it's not like the movie Alien. Like, there's nothing like growing inside me and like that's gonna pop out and kill me. It's just my own brain reacting. It's reacting to the stressors that are around it and the shit that I'm going through. Once I was able to connect those dots, I was able to it didn't make it, it's hard because it doesn't make it easier, but pretty soon after I was able to just calm the fuck down, like stop being so constantly triggered by everything I was feeling. I think that's when I started feeling like, okay. But then as I got older and life continued and shit continues to happen and heartbreak happens and boys happen or whatever, and like, you know, you go through your shit, you realize that, at least for me, and part of my life journey is that I'm never settled. I'm going from like transition to transition to transition. And that, like, it even shows in my like astrological chart, which I know is going very woo-woo, but I went through it with a friend of mine who specializes in that
girl,
stuff.
I am here for all of that.
It's really actually fascinating. My chart, it's like I don't stop. Like, I'm just constant, and I'm not uncomfortable about it. I recognize it. I'm going from transition to transition I'm constantly evolving, and I'm completely comfortable with that. I think I've gotten more comfortable with it, especially in the past, as more shit has happened, you know, and you have to keep surviving and living, and, you know, you have to just, life doesn't stop. You have to keep going, and it's gonna be fine. I feel like in my 30s, I really got more comfortable as I sort of settled into my career, my relationship, or whatever. Like, I think as my 30s is probably more when I've really felt comfortable in knowing there is no 100% stability. It's just we're constantly evolving and transitioning. I feel like I repeated myself a lot, but
I love that.
yeah.
No, I love that. I love that. Okay, so I've got 2 more questions for you, and then with that, we'll wrap up.
Yay.
So the first one is, what has surprised you the most about being so emotionally vulnerable in this public space since we decided to do the podcast?
Fair question. So I don't know if this is negative necessarily, but I am very fine with anyone who knows me listening to this or watching this, except for my parents. I am very hesitant. They know that I do a podcast. My mom was like, "What's a podcast?" Like, she's kind of on another planet on it. But my dad is like, "Oh, that's cool." Like, but I know that I speak very honestly about the difficult relationship I have with them, and it's just revealed to me that like I have so much unresolved. I mean, I already know that, but I have so much unresolved stuff there, and I don't know that it'll ever resolve. I think it'll evolve like everything else does, but it makes me a little sad that I feel like I can't share it with them, because I think they would take it very personally that, you know, at the end of the day, yeah, you're my parents, and a lot of there's so much good that they did when they raised me. Like, I'm a good person, and it's because they're good people. And I firmly believe that. But they did their best, and in some ways that's fine, in other ways it fucked me up. Like, I don't know. Like, I think everybody fucks up their kids in some way, but I don't know.
Yeah, and it's not an intentional thing.
No, at all.
I completely agree with what you're saying. And to be fair, if you think back to when we were at the beginning of season 1, I had that same fear. And I think it was like episode 4.
Yeah.
I was like, so my mom found out about the podcast and started listening, right?
Yeah.
And then it was funny enough, like in that episode, like I referenced her and then I made a moment and I remember looking into the camera during that episode and I'm like, Mom, if you ever listen to this, I love you. I'm not saying this to be mean, right? Because like I felt like I had to like preface whatever I was saying.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I think since that moment, I've been able to be a lot more comfortable in how we project ourselves into the show because there's this understanding that they know that, you know, what I'm saying is not meant to be intentionally harmful and they know they're not perfect people and I know I'm not a perfect person. I also just don't say stuff to like be cruel. And also we discussed, we also have very different parental relationships, right? So I think a part of me, to a certain extent, feels a little sad with that answer. Just for the sake
I was like, I'm gonna give a sad answer, but
I hope. No. But I say from the sense of I hope that that space in time does come where
I agree.
they are able to see it, right?
Yeah.
And you won't feel that way. So
yeah, I hope so too.
Right. Last question.
So I'm very proud of what we've done, by the way, with the show. I love that I'm able to share, like some of my coworkers listen to it, which I love because I feel like they're able to see. I mean, I'm always myself at work. I'm not a different person at work. 100%, I'm not a different person at work. I am myself, and take it or leave. I don't know, but I'm proud of being able to say, like, my voice is out there in the internet universe. And I don't know, it feels cool to be able to do it. But anyway, sorry, I wanted to put like something positive because it's not negative. It's just that
that's I appreciate
it to my brain for some reason.
Hey, listen, remember, from the moment that we started this show, and I love how I all of a sudden just grabbed my wrist guard to like have something in my hands. From the moment we started this show, we always said we would try to show up as authentically as we could. And that doesn't mean that it need like our answers or what we say has to be through rose-colored glasses. I was about to say glasses. And if anything, because of that, that's why those that listen to us in our tiny little community for now,
places.
that's one of the things that they like about us.
I agree.
So I don't want you to feel bad about that. All right. Last question. Yes. In 3 words, and let's keep it to 3.
I hate these. Okay,
How would you describe? Oh, and you still have to give me your movie title.
Fuck me, bro.
Answer this one, and then you can give me your movie title. All right. In 3 words, how would you describe the version of you now?
The version of me now. Okay. Genuine.
Okay.
I feel like that's too easy. Like genuine's too like the.
No, no. Genuine.
Genuine. I feel like I want to answer the way I want to be. Like my goal is to be someone who approaches life with ease. And that's a big word I've been trying to like manifest or whatever for myself. But that I know that's not where I am right now. I'm intense in good ways and in bad ways.
One more.
Something about my humor, but like funny is just like too basic. Like I've noticed that humor, it's not just like how I deal with uncomfortable. It's not even how I deal with uncomfortable things. It's how I communicate. So I think it's not even humor. Maybe it's like communicate, like something about communication, something about.
What about open?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know. Does that go with genuine?
The word doesn't have to. Well, so for me, like, I think of the word genuine as you don't show up as anything other than you are.
Right.
So I look at that more as like a descriptive authenticity quality word, right? I liked your next one, which was intense, because being intense in a good and a bad way is fine. I mean, you're a multifaceted person. There's nothing wrong with that. And then with the openness, I mean, you've always been open, but from my lens as your co-host and as your friend, I think you've blossomed into that area even more in different ways, not only in how you speak about yourself, how you speak about life, how you speak about others. I think also how you visually kind of show up. How you were during season 1 is different to visually how you show up now. So
interesting.
That's how I look at it.
How is it different? I'm so interested. Is it the lighting?
I don't know. For those, to give context to our listeners, when we first jumped on the call earlier before we started recording, we went through like a lighting test. So that's why she makes that joke. No, so from a visual perspective, what I mean by that, I guess it's more of like an energetic visual.
That's fair.
In a good way. Like I said this to you, I think we were like 3 episodes in during season 1 when we first started, and I remember saying to you, I really think doing this show is going to be really good.
I remember you saying that.
And I really think it's been good for both of us.
Yeah.
But I think for you specifically, it really has been good, and I have seen that positive change in you visually where there's a light that like little by little has grown, and I think it's because it's given you the opportunity to express things in a space that I think otherwise you didn't have or you didn't feel like you could have. And
that's true.
This platform has given you that area, and I say it all the time. I'm excited to kind of see how this continues to change for both of us.
I like that. I agree. Danny, you're so cute. You're so nice. Cute.
All right. Do you think like you can answer the movie title, or do we want to leave that for the next episode? And you can answer that before you ask me questions.
No, I think evolution or evolve, something along those lines.
Okay.
Because
it could be like a really cool font
true.
that went along with it.
Yeah, it's true. Like it's very. That's my lesson. That it all evolves. Everything evolves. Even if it feels like I'm not. When you're like in a really tough moment, it feels like nothing I've been doing, all the supplements, all the exercise, all the diet, whatever, everything. I've been doing all the things and none of it's working and nothing's changing and I'm just the same. That's fucking bullshit. I'm not. I've cultivated a lot of routines in my life. I've done like it's funny, Rob always lately has been like, I don't know how you're doing all these routines. Because I've started doing just a lot of like skincare stuff at night to like kind of wind myself down. I do dry brushing. I do castor oil packs. I do a bunch of shit. And honestly, it doesn't feel like work to do it. It like once you start doing it and it becomes a habit, it's like, no, this is like my body wants to do these things because they feel good. Like,
yeah.
You know, it's better than me scrolling on my phone. Like, I'd rather sit in a magnesium bath or I'd rather dry brush and shower than doom scroll on my phone. Like, I don't know. It feels better. I'm still working on a morning routine. I'm not good at the morning shit, but nighttime is a habit. I think I've figured it out a little bit. But anyway, I don't know how I got into that. Evolution. Alrighty. Yes.
No, you're good. You're good. Evolution. I like it. All right, and we'll end on that. Yeah. Thank you for
asking good questions.
Us a fun. Thank
you. You did great.
I'm looking forward to kind of seeing what comes up for my episode next. So, that being said, Thank you all so much for joining us again.
Yes.
Hope you got to know Christy a little bit more.
You
and
know
I think
too
it'll
much
give a
now.
lot more color and understanding.
Too much.
It'll give you a lot more color and understanding into where she comes from and how she thinks.
Mm-hmm.
Stay tuned for part 2 of the series where I will be the one in the hot seat. Dun, dun, dun.
I'm excited.
That'll be coming to you soon. And like always, have a beautiful week. Give yourself some grace. May you find some peace.
Yes.
And may your brains be just a little bit less spicy.
And your tummies too.
Hey there. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you hanging out with us on this mental health ride. If you've enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, follow, comment, and share My Brain is That Spicy with your fellow overthinkers, because the more the merrier in this Spicy Brain Club. If you're curious about any of the hacks or products we've mentioned, check out the show notes for links. Catch you next time. And until then, may your brain be just a little bit less spicy.